Hi YouTube friends, this is Anna, making another video from the series called What Does an INFJ Think About Other Types? And today I will talk about my thoughts and experiences with ENFPs. And in general, with this series, the idea is that I just share my genuine thoughts and experiences, and it's not about making every person of every type make equally feel good. Because that would make it less honest. So it's just like I get along with some types better than with others, so it's just to give you an insight into what I think about other types as an INFJ. ENFPs are very important people in my life, I feel. The combination ENFP and INFJ is called a golden pair in some circles, which has to do with cognitive functions. They are like perfect mirrors to each other psychologically. And that's like to completely understand that, that's quite technical. I won't get into that. But it creates a lot of understanding, but also the ability to look at things differently for each other. And my relationship with ENFPs tends to go quite deep, going both ways. I can have very deep feelings of understanding, very deep talks with them, and I can care a lot about them. But at the same time, they are also very good at doing things that annoy me, and that's also a kind of depth that I experience with them. I would say there is some overlap with the things that I've said in my previous video about INFPs. Because of course ENFPs are a bit close to INFPs psychologically. And I would say generally I was quite positive about INFPs as well. Just like I will be about ENFPs, because like I said, ENFPs are very important people to me. But I don't come across INFPs as much as I do come across ENFPs. I really seem to gravitate towards ENFPs in my environment, and they seem to gravitate towards me, which may have to do with this golden pair dynamic that we have. So just like INFPs, I feel a lot of understanding and encouragement from them. I would say the encouragement part is even stronger with ENFPs than with INFPs. And with INFPs, it's often a lot about understanding things in a kind of intellectual way, theorizing, and these very deep, interesting talks about life. But ENFPs and me, we are more focused on putting things into action. ENFPs are amazing at generating new ideas of things that they or other people could do. They are like full of this positive, optimistic, creating energy. And I, as an INFJ, I can sometimes feel too much obligated by the things that I have to do by society, and really get in a kind of rut of bitterness and demotivation because I don't see a way to put what I want into action, and I am afraid that what I do will fail, and so I lose my fire, basically. And the ENFPs, if I tell them about my struggles, about my bitterness, they will take the smallest little thing that I said about what I envision. They will take that and they will immediately generate a new idea from that into something that I could do. So I, as an INFJ, I can feel quite stuck sometimes. And it seems to be a very good thing for me to go to the ENFP in that case, because they can really help me to get out of that situation. What annoys me about ENFPs is that while they are very good at generating these ideas, and they also sometimes put them into action, they really like to start new projects and like entrepreneurship in general, and they very often start with things. Sometimes they don't start at all. They just keep talking about their ideas, but they never even put it into action. But what you will rarely see an ENFP do is actually pull through with an idea, actually see it through and like complete it. They will usually leave the plan before it actually worked out. So in that way, it's better for INFJs and ENFPs to team up, because INFJs are much better at putting things into action and also sticking to the thing. So all in all, ENFPs are the most inspiring people to me. And in that way, they are very important for my happiness and helping me find back my best path again and again. And I'm super thankful for the people that have helped me do that in my life. ENFPs are also very good people for me to ask advice to, because they can really understand where I am coming from. And the thing with ENFPs and INFJs is that it's a very, how do you say that? A very balanced relationship where the one person is giving as much as the other. So anything that applies one way also applies the other way. So for ENFPs, it also seems to be very useful to ask me for advice. And we can benefit mutually from exchanging our thoughts. So we can really deeply understand where the other person is coming from, both ways, but we have a different perspective on how to deal with those situations. So we can give each other very, very good advice by understanding the other person so well, but still being able to give a very different perspective than that they would come up with themselves. Again, to say a bit more about when I am stuck and then an ENFP helps me, what it usually looks like is that I tell the ENFP about my problem, about what I want, but I don't know how to make it happen. And then they generate a ton of ideas, and sometimes I can be like, Okay, imagine they generate 10 ideas, which is quite a lot for actual ideas that you can execute. But that would be possible for an ENFP because they are quick thinkers, very creative people. So they generate 10 ideas of what I could do next to continue on the path of what I want. And then with 9 out of 10, I'm like, nah. And then one of them, I'm like, yes, this is something I could do something with. So it's a bit like they give me endless amounts of ideas. And they're not afraid that their ideas are stupid. They just say whatever comes up in their mind. And then one of them, or maybe even more than one of them, of those ideas can really help me forward. So that's kind of funny how that goes. Again, same as with the INFPs, it's very easy for me to be myself around ENFPs, to trust ENFPs, because they are so understanding and encouraging to me. They are really people that make me feel better by talking with them in general. When you are close to an INFJ, they can really give you some tough love sometimes. And this has everything to do with the purpose of the INFJ, which is to make people stronger and to help people in their personal development. And because INFJs are often afraid of rejection, they won't easily give tough love to people they aren't close to. They really need to be sure that the other person will stick around for them, to show that side of themselves. And like with the most care that you could possibly imagine, they provide this tough love for their closest friends, which often are ENFPs. And this tough love, it's tough, like you can hear in the expression. And if there's any type that can take the tough love from INFJs, well, it's the ENFP. They're really, really open to the reflections of the INFJ, to my reflections and my experience, and I can really help them understand their problems better. And I can really help them realize what they have to do to make their lives better. But the issue with that is, like, one day when you have this conversation and you have this really great breakthrough of understanding of how they can improve their lives, and they tell you, like, I will never do this silly thing again that was so self-destructive, but the next day you see them and they are doing exactly that same thing again. And that comes off kind of fake. Like, why were you so enthusiastic about my advice in the first place if you were never going to execute it? So INFJs, they have this need for people to listen to them, because they put in a lot of effort to help people. So if you don't listen, okay, but ENFPs, it kind of seems like they fake that they are listening. And I don't actually think that that's really the truth of their intention. I think it's just how whimsical and easily distracted they are. I think that's what's causing it. So they don't have bad intentions at all. But intentions are not everything. Actions are everything. That's just a little bit of philosophy on the side. And ENFPs are a lot about words, less about actions, which can be a very annoying thing to me. Like instead of having big talks, please do big things. Yeah, so I think you can notice from the kind of things that I'm saying that there is even more intimacy in a way with ENFPs and INFJs, at least to my experience, than with INFPs, because the kind of criticism that I have of them, I think it tells how well I know them. It is because I tend to get really, really close to them. So that is pretty amazing. So I don't know if that's complete. Probably not. These were just the thoughts and experiences that I came up with. Maybe I could say something more about ENFPs in a romantic relationship. I haven't been romantically involved with an ENFP, and I also don't think I would ever want to be romantically involved with them. It's because I kind of know them too well to want to be in a relationship with them. They feel more like a brother or a sister to me. Because I completely understand where they are coming from. They are very predictable people to me in a way. And that's not material for a relationship. In a romantic relationship, you need tension. You need to feel like the person is sufficiently different to make them interesting. So I think that's the explanation behind why I haven't been romantically interested in ENFPs, and I don't think I ever will be. So to summarize, ENFPs, they're very important to me. The most prominent thing for me is the inspiration that they can give me, the motivation that they can give me. But they're also a bit annoying. So those were my thoughts as an INFJ about ENFPs for now. I would be happy to hear about your experiences with ENFPs as an INFJ, or your experiences with an INFJ as an ENFP. That would also be very interesting. Or I would also love to hear anything you want to say about this topic or other topics. In general, I just really love to read the comments. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I post every 2 weeks, or at least I try to do so. And if you are subscribed, you can stay updated on what is happening and support me, which I will highly appreciate. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!